We got all the boys with us today. Matt Holliday is in a vehicle with spotty internet. Kyle Gibson's with us. Hello, Kyle. And Lance Lynn is with us. Lance just got an award from Ole Miss. He's in the Hall of Fame, and he's got the hardware.
Oh,
Wow.
little paperweight.
Congratulations.
Little paperweight.
Wow.
Uh,
Congratulations, Lance.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you. Worked real hard on that one.
Now, Matt, tell us who you're
I
with,
just spilled
please.
my I just spilled my smoothie all over my leg. So
Yes.
Oh man.
you almost got my first
Perfect.
cuss word out of me besides Lance. I almost
Hey, you're the bad boy of this group, anyways. So you just
That's
let him
right.
fly.
Matt, who are you with and
Matt,
where are you going?
do you have our guests today or what?
I'm with Jackson and Ethan.
Hi, boys.
What's up,
All
Hey
guys?
grown up.
guys.
Look at him.
And
Where
I
are you
have
guys going? You guys
smoothie
going
all
to
over
the
my
cage or
leg.
what?
Yeah, we're headed over to work out. I gotta be honest, I thought this podcast was at 1 Central, so
So
Hmm.
it's
yeah.
not.
And then I
Yeah.
just went on living
That's
my life.
nope.
Yeah.
Nope. But this way,
So
if we
here
have
I
any
am.
questions for Jackson or Ethan, we can fire them off.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Fire
Man,
questions at the
I
boys.
can't figure out how to get centered here.
It's got an
Yeah.
off center. You got an off center to get center.
This makes a lot of sense.
I know it's weird.
Kyle, ask a question for one of the holiday boys, and also let's take a quick moment to celebrate the fact that he spilled a smoothie on himself. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Good job. Yeah, I think an interesting offseason dynamic here. You guys are with two different teams. Jackson, obviously we have the relationship with Baltimore, but Ethan, how do you guys lean into each other, when you're working on your swing? Are you guys like constantly, is it more of a competition or do you guys just have a good feel, working with your dad there about what you're trying to do and do you guys give each other critiques or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because obviously Jackson's in the show and I'm in the minor leagues, and we're both in two different phases of the game. And I think it's a really cool opportunity this offseason to kind of learn what both of us have kind of gathered over the last few months and what they gathered over the whole season of playing his first full season in the big leagues. And I'm excited. I'm excited to learn from him and take some things, and we can kind of work together. I mean, there's definitely times to compete with each other, but I think for now it's kind of soaking up information from each other.
How
Today's
do
my
you
first day
guys
hitting
Jackson's already
decide?
stripes.
swinging. Jackson's already swinging in the back seat. I can see him.
Yeah,
He's
I
swinging as soon
haven't
as he gets to
hit.
the field.
I haven't hit since the last game of the year, so I'm itching a little bit. I've taken a little bit of a break, so I'm excited to get back to
Heck yeah.
hitting.
How do you
Good,
guys
man.
I've been locked in though, so I'm a little up on it right now. I'm locked in.
how do you guys manage having hitting coaches on your own teams and then having your dad, Matt Holliday, who knows as much about hitting as anybody? How do you guys manage that?
I think for me it's just communicating. I've been lucky to have a lot of hitting coaches that have been pretty open to the fact that I grew up with a big league dad, and he probably knows my swing a little bit better than they might. But you're also there with them every single day, and just being able to kind of manage what he's seen and what they're seeing, and just kind of having open dialogue and involving him has been helpful for me. And our coaches have been very unwilling to do that, which has been great. And but you're there every day with your hitting coaches, so being able to trust them and lean on what they see has been helpful for me. But it's not too bad. I've been lucky to have an organization with some great coaches that have been really open to letting him come and watch and be a part of kind of our routine whenever he's in town. So it's been really easy in our organization. So I'm pretty lucky to have that.
Jackson,
See?
I mean, my time was obviously a lot shorter this year than I was wanting it to be in Baltimore, but man, the 3 or 4 weeks I was there, watching the game slow down for you and watching your at bats just from end of April to end of May was awesome. What was that process like? Obviously high for you. You met those expectations a lot of steps, right? I'm sure you wanted to do better and you expect a lot out of yourself, but how did this season kind of morph into, you really slowing the game down and experiencing some extreme hot streaks where you carried that offense for a few of those games that I was there.
Yeah, I mean, I think just getting more comfortable helped a lot. Facing guys for the second time made it a lot easier. But just being aggressive and not being afraid to swing and miss and make mistakes was really helpful for me. And I got a pretty neat opportunity to be able to lead off every day and just kind of go out there and fail, but learn from it. And that was helpful for me, just to be able to go out there and know that I'm in the lineup no matter who I'm facing. And yeah, it was a great experience this year, getting so many at bats against so many good pitchers, and I'm really looking forward to next year and continuing to build off that. But being able to lean on guys like Gunner and Westy and Adley and their experiences, and just going out there and having fun and not worrying about the results.
How about you, Ethan? What was first year of pro ball like for you? What were the adjustments like?
Yeah, I mean, the game's obviously a lot different than high school when it comes to the pitcher and the defense, and just the overall game is just so much different. It's such a step above the competition in high school. But I think learning how to play every single day was a big adjustment for me. Just being able to prepare my body and my mind to be able to flush bad games and also be able to soak up information from good games. It was just a really good learning experience for me, and that's kind of how I went into it. It was more of a learning experience. I was really just wanting to learn and obviously get prepared for next season in my first full year. And no, it was great. I got to learn a lot of things. I got to really be around some awesome guys and awesome coaches, and it was a great experience. It was.
I just wonder when you guys are together, who decides to drive? Because right now it sure has a feel of driving Miss Maddie. Like, does Dad ride passenger because of his age, or how does that work out?
Well, we actually went to we're big OC wrestling fans, so we went to the wrestling duels the last few days in Tulsa. So he's been driving me for the last few days, so I'll take him around for as long as he needs. It's like I gotta repay him on that.
Is that an old joke? Were you making an old joke?
Yeah, he was going at, he was going to go after the hip next. He was like, can't drive because of the hip replacement. He was going there.
I thought that's what that was inferring. You guys want to see my leg?
Yes.
That one's not in a Sophie.
Is it? That's not in this.
Oh gosh, what happened?
I don't know. Are we?
I don't know, but that was interesting.
It's a G-rated show, kids.
I'm just showing you the smoothie all over my leg that I'm currently riding around with all over me.
And all over the seat.
And all over Ethan's seat.
Whose car is this smoothie just dumped in?
Stain?
It's Ethan's truck. It's not that new, but it's nice.
What do you go with?
I'm sure he never spilled anything in your car when he was a kid either, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is for sure. It's a TRX. It's nice.
Nice.
And what flavor smoothie did you get, Matt? I think everyone wants to know.
Well, it was strawberry and pineapple and cranberry. There's about 3 drinks left out of 45, I would say, probably at the start.
Got a little leg hair on it now.
Yeah, it's got a lot of leg hair on it now. So, hey, have one of them boys buy you a new smoothie whenever you guys get done working out. You know, have them take Dad for a smoothie. We did that a lot too, I bet.
It was my fault.
Now listen, Matt, we have to take a break here. Do you want to stay with us, or do you want to clean up and carry on the day with your kids? It's up to you, because you were a yeoman's work for joining us.
Well, how much longer is the show?
We're going to take a minute-long break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the American League MVP award, and then we're going to take another break, and then we're going to come back and say goodbye. That's our rundown. So it's up to you. You got the smoothie on your leg. You're with your kids. We appreciate you coming along. We'd love to hear your opinions on whether or not Cal Raleigh got jobbed a little bit. You want to stay with us?
Yeah, I can stay. It's not a long ad. I mean, we don't have any sponsors, do we?
Beautiful. Everyone, stay where you are. You are watching Cardinal Territory.
AJ, we're going to do things a little bit differently here. I am wearing the perfect jean. And I remember seeing ads for the perfect jean, like most comfortable fit ever, perfect fit on your body. And I was like, I'm not buying it. Now, I'm buying it. And we're showing it off on FT.
Please get off my desk, first of all, Scott. Second of all, I was with you. I was skeptical about perfect jean. And then I got a pair, and the fitting was perfect. And my body's not hard to fit because I got a big old rear and big old legs from years of squatting, and they fit perfectly. They're stretchy, they're comfortable, they're fashionable. They're everything I look for in a jean, and now I have an extra pair, and I'm going to wear them all the time.
FOUL15 is the code at theperfectjean.nyc. FT listeners get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use code FOUL15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code FOUL15. After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show and tell them Foul Territory sent you.
I got you, buddy. I got you.
Thank you so much that AJ Przinsky didn't actually model those jeans. He had the other guy do it. I
Are we
hear
allowed to
that
trash AJ about his jeans or no?
I hear that those jeans are smoothie repellent. But speaking of big hindquarters, as AJ brought up in terms of how jeans fit him, we had the American League MVP award handed out and went to Aaron Judge, dominant player, offensive numbers, mind-boggling. We get it. Cal Raleigh came in second, had 60 homers, caught third most innings of any catcher, and I think he was the third-rated defensive catcher in the league. So my question, and we'll start with Lance Lynn on this one, do you think that Cal might have gotten jobbed a little bit because the catching aspect maybe didn't factor in as much as it should have?
I think if you look at it like right away, you could say, yeah, man, I thought he might have gotten jobbed a little bit. And then you start breaking down Aaron's numbers and what he was able to accomplish this year, even with the time that he missed with injury. He put up some pretty darn good numbers in a lineup that really didn't go without him. When he was out during that time, they were really not a great lineup. So he was able to do a lot of things to carry that lineup and made them what they were. So when you really dig deep in the numbers, which that's the world we live in now, no, Cal did not get job. But when you look at what he did catching and anybody that put up those numbers as a catcher, it's hard to, say, hey, they shouldn't have won the MVP. But with the numbers Aaron put up, I was surprised, to be honest with you. But when I deep down dive on the numbers, it was like, okay, he had a heck of a year.
Yeah, offensively, there's no question. I think Kyle that Aaron Judge had the better season, but you take into account the importance of a catcher, and as a pitcher, you know all about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to see the difference in the MVP voting, right? Shohei was unanimous over a DH and Kyle Schwarber. Shohei was a DH for most of the year, and then he made starts down the stretch, which I think, really made him the unanimous decision. But this was what, 60-40 split on this voting. So it's not like it was a unanimous for Judge. I mean, he's 2 votes away, a 2-vote swing from it being 50-50, first place votes. So I think it was a close vote, which is how it should have been. But I mean, I think, we talk about Cal being the one making history, which he did. Aaron Judge was like one of 4 players to do, this statistic for the year, one of 3 players ever to do this statistic on the year. Like, he had multiple areas where he also made history this year. So I just hesitate to say that a catcher should either always win it or a DH should never win it. because even though Aaron Judge, DH for most of the year because of some health stuff, he still probably impacted the game just as much or more than Cal Raleigh did. So if we can't give it to DHs, then Kyle Schwarber never should have gotten all the second place votes, is how I look at it. But I think you're looking for the most all around best player, and Aaron Judge with what he did offensively probably put himself, just a little bit above Cal.
What you think, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at overall, like if you dive in, like Lance said, on the offensive numbers, like Aaron's season was historically like one of the greatest seasons of all time offensively on some of the numbers that if you look a little closer, um, like if you compare some of those numbers to Cal Raleigh, he out hit him by so far that um, it'd be tough. Like I give a lot of credit for catching and catching that much, but I just don't think I look and people say there's no East Coast bias. There's 100% an East Coast bias. So if Cal Raleigh was playing for the Yankees and Aaron Judge was playing for the Mariners, I think it probably would have gone the other way.
I agree
But
with that.
I mean, I look, Aaron is a good friend of mine. I love Aaron. He impacts the game like he's the most valuable outside of Shohei. He's the most valuable player in baseball. Um, and so I think the right guy got it. But like I said, I think if Cal Raleigh was catching every day for the Yankees and Aaron Judge was playing for the Mariners, I think Cal Raleigh would have been the MVP.
Do you think they ought to include postseason stats in that, or do you like it the way it is?
I don't
It's
really
a
think it's
regular
a
season
postseason
award.
award. I mean, I think it's a regular season award.
They give
You
MVPs in
guys
each
with that?
round for that of the playoffs.
Kyle, you
Regular
on board
season,
with that
regular
too?
season.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just MVP for the season. Yeah, I don't think it should be weighed based on how somebody carries the team through the playoffs. Because then I think you're adding in guys that have amazing playoff runs that maybe they didn't have the best 162. That's probably how I look at it.
All right, the warmer weather is here in St. Louis. We're kind of spread all over the place. Summer is, however, long gone in the rearview mirror. But now is the time you start thinking about turning your backyard into an oasis, a pool for the kids, a fire pit for the cool nights. We're talking about a place where memories are made. At Meramec Pool and Outdoors, they've been bringing those visions to life for 25 years. Family owned and St. Louis proud and trusted to build your dream backyard. Not just pools, we're talking about full outdoor kitchens, sport courts, fire features, and smart pool technology, LED lighting, the whole ball of wax. From concept to completion, Meramec Pool and Outdoors handles everything. If you're ready to upgrade, head to splashstl.com. Free consultations and backed up by a lifetime manufacturer's warranty make your backyard the place everyone wants to be. Meramec Pools and Outdoors. Visit splashstl.com.
Holiday shopping season is here, and we have you covered from head to toe.
Let's talk about an area that's not quite close to the toes. Let's get crazy with this holiday season. Yeah, that's MeUndies I'm spinning around, but the holiday season, now you can get MeUndies with some holiday prints on them.
That's right, ridiculously soft fabric holiday prints, matching holiday prints with your special person, or you can coordinate PJs for the family photo. And right now you can get up to 50% off with the code FOUL. We rock MeUndies. You should too. We're talking over 30 million pairs sold. Knock out all your holiday gifting needs today with MeUndies to get exclusive holiday deals up to, yep, I said it, 50% off. Go to MeUndies.com/foul and enter promo code FOUL. That's MEUNDIES.com/FOUL. Promo code FOUL for up to 50% off.
Back with the boys on Cardinal Territory. The last topic for our program today, and I'm going to start with Lance Lynn on this and rotate back. By the way, can you hold up your Hall of Fame memento again, please? I like seeing that. I like
You like
props.
that? You
It's
do.
nice, very nice. Um,
Beautiful.
let's talk. Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's talk Cardinals for a second. JJ Wetherholt, okay, is the guy everyone has talked about this season. Okay, one of the young guys that should be featured, you would think, this year. Are we all on board that he's the guy that the Cardinals, as much as anyone, are kind of banking their hopes on? Is it? I'll start with you, Lance.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're looking at their farm system and what they've got going on, what he did last year, age wise, and he fits what they're trying to do. So I think if you don't start him at the big leagues, it's kind of like, hey, you just told us that you're going to go this youth movement and do all this, and a guy that should be one of your maybe corner zones, middle pieces, or whatever, is not here. So I think you look at him as a second baseman, with him and Mason Wynn up the middle, and then you can kind of go around that and see what you want to do this year. I think he's a good fit at second base too, because he's going to be above average second baseman, and his hit tool is going to make him an all star caliber second baseman. I think if you try to move him to third or something like that, the power might not be there or something like that. But you put him at his best defensive position and go let him play, and if that's second base, I think that actually makes him above average player all around at second base. So with him and Mason up the middle, I think it's a hey, let him go play and let's see where we're at around him.
Last year he had a monster year at a couple of levels, but at AAA, 314 batting average, 10 homers, just 185 at bats, 978 OPS. But Kyle, do you agree second base is probably the best position, or does it not matter and you try to mix and match?
Uh, well, I don't know. I think this would also be a great question for Jackson, right? He went through that a little bit, kind of shifting from short to second and kind of doing that. But I think as long as he's playing second base in the minor leagues and he's preparing for that, then I think that's a great thing to do. I also don't think I would give up on him playing shortstop. I think the days that you give Mason a break, maybe you shift JJ over there and then you find other days to give JJ a break. But I mean, I think we heard from Jackson earlier about the value in getting consistent at bats and the value of being able to struggle at times, and then watching him slow the game down and really kind of feel what that success is going to look like when it's sustained and he kind of gets his feet wet and figures out the hitter that he is at the big leagues. I think JJ can go through that same progression, and I don't necessarily think we should say this is who they're staking their future on. I don't think that's good for any player to necessarily have that attached to him. I think there's a lot of good players and a lot of good things that need to go right for the Cardinals to have this sustained success going forward. But yeah, I think JJ Wetherholt probably expects to be a big piece of that, and I think the Cardinals should expect him to be a big piece of that.
Now, Matt, your son Jackson had, as Kyle mentioned, some of the that pressure put on him, as being a top pick and kind of moved along quickly. How much pressure is that? You dealt with your son during that period.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that their pressure comes with that, but I also think that we're constantly training young players to control what they can control. He can't control how much pressure or how much expectations or what people think or what people expect. All he can do is keep getting better, keep working, keep training, keep practicing, keep whatever position they play him at, keep working at short, keep working at second, work at third. The idea is to play in the major leagues and to play well and to play for a long time. And the more positions you can play at a high level, the better chance you have of being in the lineup every day. And I think that's what players want. I mean, I think he would say, "Put me wherever you want, as long as I'm in the lineup. That's where I want to be." So I think it's smart for him to train and not worry about the outside expectations. And sometimes that's easier said than done. But I certainly think that as we continue with the social media and all the things that go into this, to teaching young players how to focus on things that they can control and to block out the outside noise, to get off social media, to not ride the highs and lows of other people's opinions and just get back to work. And just, if you love the practice of it, if you love to get out there and compete, focus on those things. And I think that that's something that frees you up as a player to go out and play without this heaviness of expectation or this heaviness of what other people think about you or what you should or shouldn't be or how good you should be. Um, just go out there and play and compete like you have since you were 12. And he's got tons of talent, and I think he's going to be in the big leagues. And I think it's interesting because if he's ready to play second base, I think it opens up the Cardinals the option. I keep reading that there a lot of teams are interested in Donovan, and if you can go out and get a really good player for Brendan Donovan and play Weatherholt at second to make your team that much closer to a playoff / World Series contender, then that's a value. And so I just think for young players, more and more now than ever is to keep your circle tight and just go out there and play and not worry about what everybody else thinks.
Lance, how did you learn to block out the exterior noise?
No, just don't listen. It's that simple, right? I was hard of hearing anyways, as Matt and Kyle know, as being my teammate. So that was my way of doing it. People that aren't in the clubhouse, aren't with you every day, aren't on the field with you, they don't matter. So don't pay attention to them. Be where you're supposed to be with who you're supposed to be with, and do what you have to do to make the people around you better, and help your team win, and everything else will take care of itself.
Kyle, let me ask you this. You're the Cardinal organization. You were there, so you know the lay of the land a little bit, right? Bad season, or not a great season, new president of baseball ops, and they're talking about the future. Fans didn't turn out last year. What do you think the reaction would be if Weatherholt was not on the major league roster this year?
Um, I mean, I don't know. I think it kind of goes back to what Lance just said. Obviously, the players on the field play the game for the fans and for whatever motivates them, right? We're out there trying to do our best and put on a show and entertain. People in the front office are not there for that same thing. They are there to run a team how they see fit to run a team. And just like Lance says, taking advice and criticism from somebody, I was, taught if it's somebody that I wouldn't take advice from, why would I listen to their criticism and let their words affect me? The people in the front office, whether it's right or wrong, they're not going to listen to the fans, whether JJ Wetherholt should start in the big leagues or not. Their job is to figure out what is the best way to make JJ Wetherholt the best 10 or 15-year Cardinal and the best player he can be long term. And if that means getting him a few extra at bats or a few extra innings at second, they're going to do it. And then, I think it's in the Cardinals fans to trust that front office and trust Heim with those decisions that he's going to make, or just not worry about it and go watch the game or watch on TV and enjoy the other great players that are going to play, because there's going to be a lot of good players out there.
Smartest panel in the baseball podcast universe. You guys were great today. Matt, thank you for having your sons, Jackson and Ethan, making a cameo. We appreciate that. We also appreciate you battling through the spilled smoothie. Gentlemen, thanks for the time. We look forward to doing it again. That will do it for this edition of Cardinal Territory. We'll see you next time, and hopefully that episode won't suck.